Hey everybody, it's Chandler with White Bear PR here with composer Fireside Chats at Sundance Film Festival. I'm here with Ryan Rumery, who is the composer of Food and Country. Welcome, Ryan.
Thank you.
Yeah, pleasure to have you. Well, why don't you start off by telling us a little bit about your film?
So Food and Country, it's a really cool film, and it really starts with Ruth Reichl's idea of right in the first beginning days of the pandemic. She, because we're all like under the guise, like this is only going to be 2 weeks, and I should like keep in touch with these people. And so Ruth really wanted to keep in touch with different people in the restaurant industry just to kind of see how they were going to cope with it. Because like I said earlier, it was just going to be, 2 weeks, and she also was I think worried because knew that it would be very difficult for so many of these restaurants to survive without having customers and being able to be open for let alone a week, but 2 weeks, So she was concerned and really just started all these conversations. And last night at our little get together, one of the things that was new to me about the film, she spoke to over 150 people during this process. And so the process is basically, started at the top of the pandemic and through where we are currently. And then it comes down to follows, I think it's close to 15 people that the film does track. And it really tracks them through, we all kind of had this almost silly sort of this is just silly, from wow, this is really happening, from wow, we're really going to have to change our business. Wow, we're going to really have to close. Okay, we're going to have to move our business somewhere else. And she follows all these people and, how farmers had to change how they were going to distribute food, how they were going to change their farms, how they were going to have to change, lay off employees. How are they going to keep moving forward? How are they going to survive? And so it really chronicles all of that and those characters, the highs and lows of that during this process and this time.
Wow. What was one of the biggest challenges score-wise in scoring this film?
I think one of the, and I think the sort of one of the, this is a challenge that I have with every film is keeping track of the characters, how to score them, and how to, thematically, how to score them, and then coming up with the palette of, that will work. And so there was a lot of characters, and I didn't feel like each character should have their just specific theme every time that they came on, or or we were dealing with them in the film. But it was also more or less of thematically, the kind of the land versus the city, was kind of how I was looking at the themes and how that would work about how I was scoring and the instruments and all of the things that I chose, to make that work as well.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. So I'm curious what advice you would give to somebody who is faced with a lot of characters in their project. It could be narrative, it could be documentary, and how to overcome all of those kind of decisions between themes and whatnot.
I think it's simplicity, and I draw my work from a lot more of a a minimalistic approach. Mm-hmm. I'm a big fan of visual art and looking at what visual art is and maybe how that might sound. And Rothko is just, for some reason or another, I've always just really loved his work, and I try to write a little bit like that, in the sense of it is very simple yet complex work. And so I've really kind of derived a lot of inspiration from that as well. So yeah. Nice.
What does it mean to you to have a film at the Sundance Film Festival?
It's really just speechless when I think about it. And it's I think so many composers, that I talk to, it is such a landmark occasion, and it's and to be a part of this legacy, and to be a part right now in this moment of time, all the composers that have come before us and the composers that will come after us, and just to be a part of it, and the importance of this festival to show indie work and to show so many indie composers that work so hard, throughout the year on their projects, and to have it recognized here. It's just really there's really no words for it. It's so important to be here, and I'm very grateful to be here.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for joining me at our Fireside Chats with the composers of the Sundance Film Festival. Can't wait to see what comes up next for you, and can't wait to see this film myself.
Thanks. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, everyone.